From the College of Coastal Georgia in Brunswick, Georgia, the Southern State Showcase is just around the corner. We have trips planned to Bruton Parker, Loyola, and all points in between. Plus, we let you in on what's going on right here on campus. The showcase starts right now.
The Southern State Showcase on Sports South is brought to you by Musco Lighting, Mississippi Gulf Coast, One Path Systems, and National Management Resources.
From the College of Coastal Georgia in Brunswick, the Southern State Showcase is now underway spring semester style. John Nelson here, Nicole Morocco on assignment at Southern State's HQ in Atlanta. We catch up with her in just a little bit. First story has to do with a town, and when a town fully involves itself in an athletic program and its growth, great things are definitely on the rise. John Wilkerson has the story from Bruton Parker.
4 years ago, Hawks Point Golf Club opened for business with some ambitious goals.
The owners of the golf course, which is Tiger Creek LLC, approached me with a vision. They wanted to hire a general manager, combination general manager head golf professional that could come in here and make the improvements to the golf course, and with a goal that one day they could host a professional golf tournament here, but as well be highly involved with junior golf and go down the path of the young people, because that's the future of the game.
Last year, Hawks Point hosted an LPGA Futures event and will for the next 2 years.
They are the host for 144 girls that compete all over the world. It's an international tournament, and they all come to compete for one thing, to get on the LPGA. Our tournament is actually the next to the last tournament, so it's the best 144 girls from across. And they're all competing for 10 slots, and the first 5 will get their full status on the LPGA. The next 5 will get their exempt status, so they can still compete on both tours. They just won't be able to compete the full-out LPGA.
Meanwhile, the athletic program at Bruton Parker College was expanding, and with a championship-level golf course just right down the road, adding men's and women's golf made sense.
We were looking at ways in which we could basically expand our athletic programs, and we were looking at basically sports that would be feasible for our college and our size, and fit the mission and where we're trying to go in the future. And one thing that was evident was men's and women's golf, and just basically reached out to Hawks Point and the general manager, Steve Holton, and we talked about the vision that I had as far as our golf teams and our program as a whole, and how we could partner together and help that mission come to fruition.
Simmons could also tap into the Hawks Point staff for coaches. Steve Holton, who's the general manager, will also serve as head coach of the Barron's women's golf program.
It started up with the interest that Bruton Parker had in having a golf tournament out here as a fundraiser. And they told me they're interested in bringing the program to Bruton Parker. But they sort of want to go down the path of having a professional lead the way, which, I felt that I was ready to do something and give something back. So it caught my attention. And after speaking with my assistant professional here at the Hawks Point, I decided to make them an offer that I'd take the position. My goal is that they really come here and enjoy the college and they enjoy the sport. And they'll have one of the finest training facilities that they could go to, by far. And if, going back to what I said earlier, we host an LPGA event. So I'm on my side of the house, if the girls that play for me can play scratch golf here, they're going to be pretty tough to deal with, because this course is really aimed at that type of a setting as the LPGA.
While assistant golf pro Judson Clark will also serve as head coach of the Barron's men's golf program, something he wasn't expecting.
Well, Sheila and them came to Steve wanting to start a golf program, and it was actually up at the restaurant at Talon's, and I came in there to pick up my lunch order. So he kind of blindsided me by it. But, you know, everybody was on board. Sheila was tickled pink about starting a golf program, and it's, you know, it felt like family, so it was a perfect fit.
With an impressive home course, Brewton Parker is set to host their first invitational next fall. For the Southern States Showcase, I'm John Wilkerson.
Thank you very much, John, and thanks for all that you have done this season on the Southern States Showcase. That's it for the A. We come back for the B. We hit the road to New Orleans. The showcase continues after this.
When Fuddruckers opened in 1980, we set out to create the world's greatest hamburgers, built by you with all of your favorite fresh toppings. Now that we've succeeded, what should we do next? Guess we'll make some more. Fuddruckers, the world's greatest hamburgers.
On the Mississippi Gulf Coast, the fish are still biting. Our casinos are as exciting as ever, with 24-hour gaming and top-name entertainment. Our golf courses are open for play, and our seafood is as fresh as ever. There's plenty of fun for you and your family, and we welcome you with open arms. The Mississippi Gulf Coast, open for business, open for you. Book your visit today.
From Little League to the big leagues, Musco specializes in sports lighting around the world. Musco's light structure green sports lighting cuts operating costs in half with less energy use, cuts spill light by half, provides guaranteed constant light levels, and includes a 25-year warranty. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
When Fuddruckers opened in 1980, we set out to create the world's greatest hamburgers, built by you with all of your favorite fresh toppings. Now that we've succeeded, what should we do next? Guess we'll make some more. Fuddruckers, the world's greatest hamburgers.
The number one can make or break a great game. One hit.
And it's going back. It is out of here.
One goal. One shot. 1 second. When it comes to technology solutions, excellence is defined by one. OnePath, competitively connected. OnePath is proud to be the sponsor of excellence for the Southern States Athletic Conference.
If you're a fan of the Southern States Athletic Conference, then bookmark SSACsports.com. Visit daily for the latest results, news, standings, and webcasts. Follow your favorite teams and conference at SSACsports.com.
Welcome back to the Southern State Showcase, spring semester style from the College of Coastal Georgia here in Brunswick. And B Block means it's time for our second story. For that, we go to Loyola University in New Orleans, where Michelle Gingras has the story about a runner who had to take his approach a little differently, but he's having a great deal of success.
Kenny Chow's style of running may seem unorthodox.
I tried it, and I liked it, so slowly I started transitioning into it.
A slow transition that occurred when Kenny was faced with a tibial stress fracture that kept him from training. So Kenny did some research and discovered barefoot running.
The claim for barefoot running is that it causes less injuries because it'll change your form.
So Kenny hung up his sneakers and began training barefoot. Like many others across the nation who have also adopted this style, Kenny feels barefoot running will help keep him injury-free.
So when you're running in shoes, you have this big heel support in your shoe, and it causes you to land on your heel like this. And that actually causes a lot of stress. It also stops your forward momentum. So when you take your shoes off and run, you learn to run on the front of your foot. You land near the middle of the ball of your foot, and then your heel drops down lightly.
Kenny's style of running may be new to Loyola, but barefoot running dates back over a century to the Tarahumara tribe in Mexico.
There's a book out called Born to Run, and it tells stories of the Tarahumara tribe from Mexico, and they run mostly barefoot and in these sandals that they make. And apparently they're very healthy and run till they're very old, and they run very, very long distances without wearing our contemporary shoes.
The method has also produced success on some of the sport's biggest stages.
There's an Ethiopian runner, Abel Bakir, who won the Olympics marathon barefoot. On the track there was Zola Budd. She ran the 15 and the 3K, I think. And she did really well barefoot on the track. So it works for long distance and short distances.
Thanks to his style of barefoot running, he currently holds the record at Loyola for the half marathon. Wolfpack athletic trainer Patrick Maloney sees the pros and cons to running barefoot, but believes there's a proper technique that must be followed. And during our interview, Kenny taught me the differences between running with shoes and running barefoot, so I decided to try it for myself. I think for now I'll leave the barefoot running up to Kenny, who is currently training for his next half marathon in March and has hopes to break his own school record. For the Southern States Showcase, I'm Michelle Gingras.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Time to send it to Nicole Morocco at Southern States HQ in Atlanta. Nicole, what's up next?
Thanks, John. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, the headquarters of the SSAC, and all season long we've been talking about the Champions of Character initiative. It's not only an integral part of the SSAC, but also the NAIA. We've talked to presidents and athletic directors all around the conference to get their take on the initiative.
We want to model that for our student athletes, and so if you're an accounting major, we want you to think through the implications of what would being a champion of character look like in the field of accounting, and how I do accounting, how I prepare for accounting as a college student, but also when I get out, and integrity, and sportsmanship. And we know all the things that carry over from the playing field into real life, and that's just one of the huge pluses of athletics when it's done the right way. It's just full of life lessons, not just sports lessons, and so that's how we try to attack it.
Well, the Champions of Character program is perfect alignment with the kinds of character traits that we're looking to accomplish in our students. You probably know character and character qualities are inculcated in individuals, but they actually can be developed. It takes a long time to develop character, and usually they're developed through trials. They're developed through learning process that isn't always easy. And athletics becomes a tremendous platform for that to occur. So the same kinds of character traits that NAIA is after, those are the same traits, and plus some, that Southern Western University is after. So it's a great alignment in that sense.
And as you can see, this initiative is a huge part of every athletic program across the SSAC. Well, that's going to do it from here in Atlanta, Georgia. Back to you, John, in Brunswick.
Thank you very much, Nicole. We'll catch up with you next week back at Southern States HQ in Atlanta. That's it for the B. We come back for the C. You see all this activity behind me? It's a small sample of what the Southern States is going to see when the College of Coastal Georgia goes full-fledged member next year. The showcase from Brunswick continues after this.
When Fuddruckers opened in 1980, we set out to create the world's greatest hamburgers, built by you with all of your favorite fresh toppings. Now that we've succeeded, what should we do next? Guess we'll make some more. Fuddruckers, the world's greatest hamburgers.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
The number one can make or break a great game. One hit.
And it's going back. It is out of here.
One goal. One shot. 1 second. When it comes to technology solutions, excellence is defined by one path, competitively connected. One Path is proud to be the sponsor of excellence for the Southern States Athletic Conference.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? by making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
When Fuddruckers opened in 1980, we set out to create the world's greatest hamburgers, built by you with all of your favorite fresh toppings. Now that we've succeeded, what should we do next? Guess we'll make some more. Fuddruckers, the world's greatest hamburgers.
On the Mississippi Gulf Coast, the fish are still biting. Our casinos are as exciting as ever, with 24-hour gaming and top-name entertainment. Our golf courses are open for play, and our seafood is as fresh as ever. There's plenty of fun for you and your family, and we welcome you with open arms. The Mississippi Gulf Coast, open for business, open for you. Book your visit today.
Welcome back to the Southern State Showcase here in Brunswick, Georgia and the College of Coastal Georgia. You know what this time of the show means. It's time to focus on the member institutions. CCGA, not quite a full member, but they will be in the fall. Here's what's going on here in Brunswick. The key word on the campus of the College of Coastal Georgia is growth. You can see it in all of the construction and all of the increases in the student body, since the school is transforming from a 2-year to a 4-year institution. And if you ask, everyone around is excited about all of the activity.
The change here has just been dramatic, and in a mere 3 years we've gone from buildings that were all over 30 years old to multiple new buildings and multiple new programs and all kinds of exciting new things in academics as well as sports and other kinds of activities for the students on campus.
And part of that growth internally is the continuing of the relationship with the city of Brunswick. And as one grows, the other grows and sees the benefits of all the movement as a 4-year school.
The community's gone through a good bit of difficulty here recently, like all communities have. But what the school's been able to do is we've been able to identify students, whether they're high school students coming in with dual enrollment or they're traditional high school graduates coming in, or even people that have gone away to school and returning home as transfer students. We've been able to put together something that's gotten the community involved with us in a lot of different ways. Our service learning projects, where the classrooms are being taken out and working with businesses and nonprofits and other groups here in the region, both in Brunswick and on St. Simons, has brought a very good, strong sense of community between the school and the city and the county. We have a very good foundation that's being sponsored locally here. We've raised a tremendous amount of money towards scholarships. We give away over $400,000 a year in additional scholarships for students. It's for a school that's only really had 5 years moving toward a 4-year program. Our endowment's already reached, endowment through our foundation's already reached over $12 million. And we're on a very fast pace in that. And without the community support and without being involved with the community, we'd never been able to achieve that.
And the excitement is the same for the athletics department. Coaches and administrators can be identified in their own personalities as builders, and some of the staff are relishing adding that to their resume.
Been a wonderful transition, growing, adding. We've 2 years ago we had 2 teams, men's basketball and softball. In the 2 years we've added 8 teams. We've added men's and women's golf, men's and women's tennis, men's and women's cross country, volleyball, and women's basketball. And so we're offering a whole suite of new sports that people will be enthusiastic about, and new staff, new coaches, new attitude, new logos, new colors. So it's been a complete transformation, and it's been a great deal of fun to see it grow and develop.
Exciting is the first word that comes to mind. It's challenging, it's trying, the adjectives can go on, but it's the biggest thing is the challenge, the move from JUCO, which, you know, I've been in JUCO a JUCO coach for 30 years, and I'm excited about the move. I know, you know, we've scrimmaged a lot of these people, the NAIA schools, we've scrimmaged them for years and years, so I'm familiar. I know what the competition is going to be like. And so it's just it's fun. It's a challenge with adding the women's sports. I've never had to travel with a women's team before, so that actually was a little smoother than I thought it would be. So it's, you know, all things rolled up into one. It keeps you busy, keeps you occupied.
To be honest, it's been a wonderful experience. You know, being able to take a program
and build it from the ground up, I believe is a great opportunity for any coach. And you know, so far things have been going really well, and we've integrated a good blend of international students as well as some American players, and hoping to add some more local players to our program as well, and to have that well-rounded feel to the program.
And the coaches are also getting ready for their full-time tests in the Southern States next fall. They have already, on occasion, played some of their future NAIA rivals, either in conference or out, and are seeing what life will be like. Every game is a learning experience.
My athletes, they're just as good as anybody else, and I've told everybody, I said every time we stepped on the court this year, I said I knew we were more athletic and I knew we were more talented. We just weren't as smart. You know, and we'll get that when the fall comes. We'll get smarter and we'll get more skilled so that we can compete with, shorter. Great coach team, just overall, program, everything. I was really impressed with them, and that's what I want this team to be. I want us to be a program like Shorter, which I know they're moving out of the conference, but you know, I have a lot of respect for him, and I have a lot of respect for his program. And what he had on us when we played him, and you can tell, it was just the skill level and the knowledge. And once we get those two things, then that's where we hope to be.
So you see what CCGA has been doing, but what about after the physical building is turned into a continuing establishment of the school's personality? Those here are seeing the future and taking it on full.
Since we've become a four-year school, we don't have the technical division anymore, and we have, I think, a higher caliber of student because we have more stringent entrance regulations. And in the classroom, I've been able to see our students, they're much more proficient in their writing ability. And I think we have a higher caliber of student. They seem more prepared for college than they were 5 years ago.
Our president, Dr. Hepburn, she works 24/7, and the campus follows the pace. We're always, there's always something going on. We bring in a tremendous number of speakers for community-related events and for students also. And then, you know, various things with admissions visitations programs and just building all the additional pieces that are needed to put together a true co-curricular experience, what a traditional college experience is like. That's been probably the hardest thing to put in place. But what attracted me here, I've only been here for a short while, but what attracted me here was the chance to build and to be a part of an institution that was going to, over the next few years, develop its own way. It was a complete change from what it was in the past.
That's the story for now from Brunswick. We'll be catching up with the folks here at CCGA as we go further on in the showcase. That's it for the C. We come back for the D. We'll put a bow on yet another show and head to Southern States HQ next week. More on the showcase when we come back.
The players of the week at the conference level for the week of March 12th are as follows. In baseball, the pitcher of the week is Chris Hall of Lee. Hall allowed only 2 hits in 8 innings of work in a 9-0 victory over Loyola. He struck out 15 and walked 2. For the year, the right-hander is 6-0 with an ERA of .68. In 40 innings, he's recorded 63 strikeouts. The player of the week is Braxton Hamill of Mobile. Hamill had 3 multi-hit games, including a 4-hit showcase versus William Carey that helped take the series from the Crusaders. He also had 5 doubles on the week. In softball, the pitcher of the week is Missy Duke from Faulkner. Duke had an outstanding tournament at the GCI with an ERA of 0. She had 25 strikeouts while she went 3-0 for the weekend. The player of the week in softball is Heather Smith of Faulkner. Smith had a great weekend at the GCI. She scored 6 runs and had 12 RBI. She had 3 home runs, with the 3rd one being a grand slam.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Get in the game at playnaia.org.
From Little League to the big leagues, Musco specializes in sports lighting around the world. Musco's light structure green sports lighting cuts operating costs in half with less energy use, cuts spill light by half, provides guaranteed constant light levels, and includes a 25-year warranty. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
On the Mississippi Gulf Coast, the fish are still biting. Our casinos are as exciting as ever, with 24-hour gaming and top-name entertainment. Our golf courses are open for play, and our seafood is as fresh as ever. There's plenty of fun for you and your family, and we welcome you with open arms. The Mississippi Gulf Coast, open for business, open for you. Book your visit today.
That's a look at your national rankings for the Southern States Athletic Conference. Well represented as always when it comes to the sports in the NAIA. And it's time to put a bow on yet another show. Next week we will be back at Southern States HQ in Atlanta for our last show of the spring semester. Nicole Morocco will join us then. Once again, a reminder, go to ssacsports.com for all your information when it comes to the schools and the sports in the Southern States. For the list of credits and the folks on them that make this show what it is every single week, I am John Nelson saying play it safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.